Thank you so much, Dr. Benjamin, and all of APHA for the 2020 Executive Director Citation. I feel really honored because this is coming from you all, my people full of power and passion and purpose. When I was your president 4 years ago, you enabled me, you gave me a platform to launch a national campaign against racism with 3 tasks: to name racism, to ask how is racism operating here, and then to organize and strategize to act. And I want to use the platform that this award is giving me right now to add to that work, because I recognize that more and more people are actually naming racism these days. But as we name racism, there are 4 key messages that we need to make sure we convey. The first is that racism exists, yes, and there are many people who still deny that. But the second is that racism is a system. The third is that racism saps the strength of the whole society. And the fourth is that we can act to dismantle racism. So I'd like to debut, if you will, in public, my newest allegory, this one, to help us understand that racism is a system. And the reason that that's so important is as more and more people talk about racism, we have to be clear that we're talking about a system. We're not trying to divide the room into who's racist and who's not, or examine people for, exactly how racist are you? No, we are describing a system that's problematic for all of us. So I call this allegory cement dust in our lungs. Imagine that there's a cement factory spewing cement dust and it's filling the air, sometimes so full of dust, the air is that you can't even see the factory. But we know about the cement dust because if any of us is anywhere around this factory for any amount of time, cement dust in our lungs. And the cement dust in our lungs is problematic. And it may cause different problems in different ones of us. Maybe in my lungs, the cement dust makes me feel that I'm less than. Whereas in somebody else's lungs, it makes them feel that they can crush the life out of another human being with their knee for 8 minutes and 46 seconds. But whatever the problem, the cement dust in our lungs is problematic. And so now we're starting to seek solutions, right? And some of the solutions that you might suggest might include, maybe we need a machine to scan for how much cement dust you have in your lungs. And then if you have too much cement dust in your lungs, maybe you get voted off the island or sequestered away. Well, I don't think that that's really the best answer. So let's put that one on the shelf right now. So what else could we do? Well, maybe we need a place where we can be purified. So maybe there's a spa where you can go in and have the cement dust extracted from your lungs and come out good as new. But as soon as you leave that spa, the cement dust is still there and it's going to reinfect you, if you will. So that's not a very good answer unless we just, fill the whole world up with spas, right? But there's still the factory. I think the answer has to do with recognizing that there is still the factory and we need to start focusing on the factory. And when I understand that there's a factory spewing cement dust, and if I don't want any more cement dust in my lungs, what I need to do is to put on a gas mask, right? That gas mask will keep me from getting more cement dust in my lungs. It is the start of my individual anti-racism journey. I recognize that it's not going to take the cement dust out of my lungs that's already there, but it is going to protect me. And I need to wear it 24/7, yes. And every time I see myself reflected in a mirror or in a glass window, I'm going to be reminded that there is a cement factory spewing cement dust. It's good for that too. But also, when you see me wearing a gas mask, you're going to ask me, Dr. Jones, why do you have on a gas mask? And I'll say, there's a cement factory spewing cement dust. And so then more and more of you will put on gas masks and we'll have more and more of us. But is that the answer, just to start creating lots of gas masks, little baby gas masks and, old people gas masks? No, that still is not the answer because the problem is the cement factory. But as more and more of us put on our gas mask, enabling us to get closer to the factory and to see it more clearly, we can then ask, how is this factory working here? And then go in and shut the factory down and put in its place a system in which all people can know and develop to their full potentials. We are called right now to understand that racism is a system and that even though the system is causing people to act out in different bad ways for all of us, that the problem is not the people, the problem is the system. And once we understand racism is a system, each person can identify their relationship with that system and decide if they're still going to be breathing in the cement dust, thinking that they're benefiting from it, or are they going to join with others and shut it down? I am so delighted to have had that opportunity to share that story, to debut it, and I'm really delighted to show this beautiful, beautiful award. Thank you so much, Dr. Benjamin. Thank you, APHA. I now want to pass the agenda of anti-racism to you. I want you to take this torch and I want you to pass it on.